Hello and welcome back to Euphoria. I am your production player for today, Maddie Searle. My pronouns are they, them. And today we are back playing Deathmatch Island by Tim Denny, published by Evil Hat. And I'm joined by four fantastic players. Could you please introduce yourselves with your name and pronouns and your character's name and pronouns, starting with Anusha?
Hello, I'm Anusha Battersby. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Dr. Ari Yukovsky. Pronouns she, her, they, them.
Fantastic. And Taylor?
Hello everyone, my name is Taylor Navarro. I use she, her pronouns. I am a tanned Latina woman with long wavy brown hair, glasses, and a black t-shirt. Today I am playing Harper Hoffman, who also uses she, her pronouns.
Beautiful. And Luyu?
Hi, what up? My name is Luyu. I use she, her pronouns. I'm an Asian American woman with a sunflower dress on today. And I will be playing Calliope Lee, also she, her pronouns.
Fantastic. And Magnolia?
Hello, my name is Magnolia Johnson. I am a black woman, light-skinned, locks, glasses, gray cardigan, black dress. And my pronouns are she, her. I will be playing Mabel, whose pronouns are for the foreseeable future she, her.
Fantastic. I am a white non-binary person wearing a dark green bandana and a white shirt with the Slay Station logo on, which is a great drag show in London. So if you're ever in London, go check it out.
Ooh.
And I, just because I didn't add it on before, I'm a white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman, and I'm wearing a white shirt today.
Fantastic. Okay. So last we left off, our competitors had a harrowing time on the first island, but had managed to make it onto the boat to head to the second island. You had made an alliance with the Reborn, which has that group has now been sadly decimated. But the fate of Calliope is currently unknown. And you also got into a tangle with the Tontine, who was burning down the forest, but you managed to stop them. And the Alphas you have come into contact with a little bit. They called for people to challenge them again at one of the challenge nodes, but you resisted that call in order to deal with the forest along with the Reborn. But now that's all behind you. You're on the boat. You have had a chance to relax. You've got rid of some fatigue. And it's time for trust building. So could everyone please have a look at the intimate conversation prompts trust building questionnaire and ask one other person in the group one of the questions, and that will trigger a flashback to your competitor's life before the islands. And then you, afterwards, the person who asked the question and the person who answered it can both mark one trust with each other.
Sure. Just to clarify, the fate of Callistro from the Reborn is unknown, right? The fate of my character Calliope is good? We good?
Sorry, yes.
Okay, no worries. Yes, I know.
Characters.
No,
Fully
make it
understand.
about Luyu's character.
I was like, oh, God!
What a way that would be to find out that your character is at great risk of danger.
That would
Her
be,
fate's unknown, and you didn't know that either.
Yes.
Until now.
Yes.
Yeah, so we don't know that she climbed back onto the boat, or like she clawed her way out of the fire.
Yeah, I think we've just had a moment on screen from the TV of Callisto climbing out of the pile of burnt corpses unharmed.
Okay.
And we will find out what that entails later, I am sure. So
It
yeah,
entails
Calliope
like-
is absolutely fine.
Great.
Make Calliope suffer for the plot.
Sounds like hanging onto the underside of the boat with like a snorkel right now. Like it is. She's closer than you think.
Yeah. All right. So who wants to go first with asking someone a question?
Oh, there are so many loaded questions on here, specifically for Magnolia's character.
You know what? I think I'll go ahead and start. Calliope is the most curious about Harper, and I think this is something interesting for her to ask. So she will say, I was looking through the list of questions, and there was one that was just calling your name. I would love to know, who do you consider an enemy back home and why? You just seem like a woman who, women of power, they gather enemies.
Our deepest apologies, viewers. It was at this point that we lost our live feed from the boat on its way to Island 2. However, we managed to catch up with our competitors later on and get their recollection of this conversation as it really happened. The inside scoop, as they say. Harper, I believe you were asked by Calliope, who do you consider an enemy back home and why? I'm sure this question conjured up a lot of complex feelings for you. What did this question bring to mind?
Believe it or not, when I was younger, I was bullied quite a lot. And I remember this really awful incident. I was like 14 and I was at home sobbing in the kitchen because people just kept bullying me, calling me names, being awful. And I couldn't take it anymore. And my mother turned to me and she was like, dry your eyes. Don't let them bring you down. They are jealous because they are not you. They want to be everything that you are. And they are never going to be kind to you because they want what you have. So instead of letting them get to you, let this fuel you. Let this motivate you. Be better, be prettier, be more successful, be smarter, be stronger, hit harder. Everyone is your enemy, even the people who would pass off as your friends. And I think that's a really important lesson to learn, and that's something I've definitely brought with me to the islands.
And how did you respond to your teammate in the moment?
Well, I couldn't exactly tell them that. So I told them the truth. I don't have enemies back home because my enemies are wherever I go. But I didn't tell them that part either. I just told them, that we are competitors. I see them all as my competitors. I see the people at home as competition too, but there are no enemies. Nobody that I have a grudge with. Nobody who deserves a name, although I'm sure all of my haters are watching me right now.
Thank you, Harper. That was very interesting. Now, Mabel, I believe you were asked this question. Tell me about a time you were charming. Who did you impress and how? What did this question make you think of?
Please call me Lazarus. There's not a good answer to. Well, there is a good answer to that one. I don't think I gave it. It's been. I don't know if I've ever impressed anybody really. It's just been a sort of long series of sort of being tolerated. I think. I don't know if there's anything I'd say where everyone was like, "Oh, we like you." Or I'll put it this way: I don't think there was ever anything where everyone was like, "Oh, we like Mabel." There was one time. I don't think it was in college. That was a pretty good 2 years, but it was, I don't know, some bright, shiny moment at a house party with everyone looking up at me. But I don't think that was Mabel. I don't think that's her.
And how did you reply to this question in front of your fellow competitors?
I don't even know if I really did. I think I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a person who does things. I'm not a person who impresses people. I don't do that. I don't do much of anything. But apparently someone wanted to argue that, so I don't know. They know better than I guess.
Thank you so much, Mabel. Now, Calliope, my sources say that you were asked this question. Tell me about a time you broke the law. What did this question bring up for you?
Well, the truth is, I did about 650 USD in damages to my school, specifically to a classroom and a laboratory. I remember being asked why I did it, and to be honest, I didn't really have a good answer. I had also gotten into a few small fights, but no criminal record, which is important.
Thank you for sharing that, Calliope. Now, what did you say to your teammates in answer to the original question about breaking the law?
Oh, I haven't really broken the law that I can remember, or at least I don't have a criminal record. So, just doing my best.
Thank you again, Calliope. Now, last but not least, Dr. Ari, you were asked about your last vacation. Where did you go? What exciting activity did you do?
Well, in terms of what I told the others, it wasn't all that exciting. It was more of a rest and recuperation sort of break. I went up to a castle in Scotland on my own, out of the way, far away from everyone and everything. On the coast, there were lots of lovely cows, lots of lovely scenery as well, and I just existed there for a bit.
I get the sense that you might have been holding something back from the team in that moment. Was there something that you were also thinking about?
No, not at all. And then if possible, unless you want to do this differently, break directly to audience. That was a lie. I remember very little, except that I was standing in the middle of a desert, screaming my lungs out. That's all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ari, and all the contestants for your candid answers. Now, I believe we can return to the original footage of the boat journey, just as our teammates are discussing where to land on Island 2. This island is, of course, a subpolar island with various old industrial and research buildings and an active volcano. Let's see where our contestants decide to land.
Your character's a nuclear engineer.
Yeah.
And there's a reactor facility.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen the reactor facility before, so I think that...
Okay.
There's a volcano and a reactor facility.
Your Honor,
like, what if we
may I recommend for the plot that we I think
Clarify for the audience at home. I'm a former English literature student and current actor. I do not know a single thing about nuclear engineering. This will be improv based, thank you.
We'll be reversing the polarity of the neutron flow here today.
I apologise to any physicists out there when I confuse fission and fusion.
I'm gonna get my physicist friend to watch this series now.
Hey, we're going fission?
Right. So shall we say, okay, how about this? Instead of forcing us into a decision, Canal 12C access gate gets us on the way to 2 points of interest that we as a group are interested in checking out. And then whoever's the leader after the next one can... Well, the volcano will take us to either one. So whoever's the leader next can decide which route we go.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Sure.
Mabel's
production.
Here's volcano.
Hit the access gate, please.
Nice. Okay, so you are taken out of this kind of rusty old kind of liner that you've been on for the past hours, days, weeks. Time has no meaning here. but you are put into a little lifeboat, as are all the other teams, and you decide to make your way to Canal 12C access gate. And the island in front of you it looks like a kind of subpolar northern Scandinavian type island. It seems to be formerly some kind of industrial or research based facility. There are brutalist looking buildings scattered across the island. The temperature is icy cold, and as we have previously mentioned, in the center of the north half of the island is a snow-clad volcano, and there is smoke curling from the peak, so it is presumably an active volcano. As you head into the Canal 12C access gate, you can see a few weathered bones just sort of scattered on the shoreline. Human? Animal? Not sure.
Can I pick up one of the bones, please, and have a look?
You may. I think that I think considering your scientific background, it wouldn't take you very long to surmise that it was a human femur.
I say, it is human. And then place it back down on the ground very respectfully.
Wait, we're not keeping it?
I mean, if you would like to, I will not stop you.
Oh, thank you. And she walks over it, and I would like to add one human femur to my character sheet, please.
You absolutely may.
Yes!
So you have now found an access point to the system of concrete canals on the island, rising up from an inhospitable rocky bay. The canal locks are closed to entry from the sea by a large gate. You can see a rusted metal walkway providing pedestrian access, and there's a cluster of small concrete service buildings. So the deal with this place is that you need to do a redacted contest in order to enter this access gate. But also, you see a small team also clustered here. It's not one that you've come across before. They seem to be unaffiliated with the other kind of main alliances that you've come across. There is a sort of a short man with dark skin and kind of curly dark hair, and he looks to you and says, "Oh no, it's that team. We need to go now."
Our reputation precedes us, I hear.
Yeah, I heard from the reborn that that you basically decimated them. That there's only a few left.
Was
there someone in particular you heard this from?
I think her name was Callista.
That lying piece of shit.
I'll try harder next time.
And then another person comes up. It's a non-binary person with kind of jagged, short blonde hair, and they say, "Oh, I heard from Sunday of the Alpha Alliance that you all are like convicts, like you're murderers, and that's why you're on in this competition, because you're here to like stir the pot and like make it really, really tough."
Yes, we're all hardened convicts and criminals, which is why we have botanical tattoos on our hands and manicured nails and ink. And I mean, just like look at us. Do we look like hardened criminals to you?
I don't know. I've never met a criminal. I don't know.
I would like to
I am
rest
indeed a
the femur on my
hardened
shoulder.
Sorry?
I would like to rest the femur on my shoulder and go, "And who's stirring the pot now?"
That was Sunday from the Alpha Alliance, but I think she said she heard it from this other guy. She didn't say what his name was, but And then the person who spoke first says, "Yeah, I think that Callisto said she heard some bad shit from this guy as well, but she didn't say who."
I'm gonna
Very
above
interesting.
table. I'm gonna check something. I'm gonna quickly.
You need
check the lines
NPC
and
names?
veils.
I've got them.
No, I need lines and veils.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
just
okay.
scrolling.
Yay! I love
NPC
checking lines and
bullying.
veils.
Let's be careful.
I don't think it's on here. I don't think it is. Okay, I'm going to ask first about it because it's on Ask First About. Are people all right with a jokey reference to cannibalism?
Yeah,
Sure.
jokes are okay. If we actually get towards real cannibalism, that's when I'm gonna have a problem.
Sure.
We are trying to avoid a Yellow Jacket situation.
Yeah, I've never seen Yellow Jackets, but ooh. So Ari hears this thing about them supposedly being hardened criminals. Sees you put the femur on your shoulder and reference stirring the pot. Puts 2 and 2 together and goes, no, you must have misheard them. We are hardened cannibals. And just smiles sweetly.
I think at this, the small straggly team who have not managed to find any alliances are completely freaked out and run away.
You said team. I thought you said teen. I was like, oh god.
No
team.
under 18s in this game. Don't worry.
No, that was on the lines of veils. That's my bad.
So I am going to say that this, if you want it to be, can be a contest. You can try and figure out who is spreading lies about you, or at least
lies, only halfway.
And this character has a dice pool. I will not tell you what this dice pool consists of, but it is a dangerous contest. And if I remember correctly, dangerous contest, you have to mark 1 injury when you fail instead of 1 fatigue. However, you can also investigate this canal, which would be a redacted contest, and some spooky stuff might happen if you do that. Or you could do both. It is entirely
How
up to you.
spooky is spooky?
I think it's kind of like, yeah, it's whatever weird stuff production is up to.
Oh, perfect. I want to investigate the canal thing.
Nice. I'm
happy with the lies being told about us because that means people are scared, and they should be.
Mabel is going to not help the issue. Try to figure out who is telling the lies, but also in doing so, very much not help the issue because she's going to both social game and challenge this. It's going to be like halfway to a fight.
We're picking one, right? Either the gate.
I thought. I heard.
Or no.
You can do both if you want, but you can also just do one.
Seems like each.
Ari's just going to be like, oh, they ran away. They do not want to be our friends. How odd. Anyway, and I think I'm going to go potentially Spooky Canal. What was the thingamabobby that would be?
That would be redacted, which we haven't done before.
I know, exciting.
Ooh.
And also, I believe that considering you've scared away the other team, the only number that you would have to beat would be a 5. Because that is the danger level for this area.
I'm happy to join Team Canal.
I guess if they're gone, we are all sort of mandated to do Canal.
The room. Can we come back to the rumors thing? Is that a thing that we can kind of?
Yeah, you can. It's
going to be turning in the back of her mind, but at the same time, she's like, we do need to push forward.
Okay.
But it's got in there. It's got in there. It's bothering her a bit.
Great. So yes, whosoever wants to join the contest can.
I am also going to join the contest. That seems like the only thing available to do right now.
Alrighty.
Okay. Right, so putting together dice pools.
Yes.
Yes. So it's redacted. Do we get to add anything like our name or occupation to this?
You get to add your name to everything. You get to add your occupation if you think it applies. So this would be about like breaking in somewhere, or maybe
my
doing something
occupation is crime
technological.
boss. So, I mean, sorry, founder of a cosmetic brand that definitely isn't a multi-level marketing scheme. Do we think that counts?
I think that's up to you. What you think Harper has done in the name of her
I've
business.
scammed people's information before.
Yeah.
So how many recipes have you stolen from various labs? How many labs have you broken into?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you can add your occupation for that.
So that's 3d6.
You just have to beat a 5.
Is it? Do I add the 2 highest, or just is it the highest one? I forgot. I'm so sorry.
It's the 2 highest. Yeah.
That's an 8.
An 8, perfect. You beat it.
Okay, so it's redacted and then name. I don't know if nuclear engineer is helpful.
I think there's probably a lot of security around nuclear facilities that you've had to deal with. I think you probably had it.
Okay, cool. So that's 3d6. Do we add anything else, or is that?
Unless you want to use any of your acquisitions, but I don't think you'll need to because it's a very low target number.
No, we're good. 3d6. Let's roll. That is a 7.
Beautiful.
Got a 4 and 2 3s.
Nice. Who wants to go?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, Magnolia, go ahead.
I am okay. I think it's D6 for name, D6 for D6 for name, D6 for redacted, and then I'm going to burn fatigue and roll a D10 for challenge beast because I do think she's just trying to like brute force this climb up some shit, like getting a little jungle gym in here. The 2 highest dice are 4 and a 5, so that's 5 on the D10, 4 on the D6, 3 on the D6.
Nice, excellent. So that is a 9, I believe.
Woohoo!
Yes,
excellent.
Marking in exhaustion.
Fantastic. Calliope, do you want to try this? It seems like everyone else has got it, so you don't have to, but you're very welcome to.
You know, if it looks like the squad has got it, am I able to try to do the dangerous challenge?
Yes, very much so, if you want to. I think we will resolve this one first, but
Sure,
then
go ahead.
after that we can absolutely see if you can figure out who this person is.
Okay.
Okay. So in this case, Mabel was best.
Go Mabel.
Harper was second, and Ari was third. So Mabel, you get 5 new follower boxes. And Harper and Ari, you get 3 because I believe it's half rounded up.
You're at your thing. You're on 37.
The milestone 3 was exactly what I needed. I got 400,000
I was waiting for it. I was hoping it would be 3.
Yeah.
You know what? I would love to know what Harper does when she hears the ping on her like watch, and it's like, congratulations, you have X number.
A little bit of ticker tape comes out of your watch device, and it says you have reached X amount of followers.
You've got Twitch affiliate.
Is it 400,000?
400,000.
Yes. Perfect. Yeah.
So my name die goes up to a D8.
Fantastic.
Which amazing. So I think the reason that Harper doesn't crack it is because like she gets distracted when the little ticker tape comes out, and she literally screams, like does a victory lap, and then she finds like something sticky by the ocean, like a little piece of like algae or something. and she like wraps it around her wrist like a bracelet and sticks it together. And she's just like, yes, 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 yes.
Fantastic.
Ari looks at the mood ring to see if anything's changed with this general kind of cacophony of joy. Nothing has. It's still blue.
Legit. So, Mabel, please describe your resounding victory as you challenge Beast this access gate into oblivion.
I'm trying to think. Something describe the nature of the gate to me.
I think it's like big metal doors. I think there is probably a keypad on the right hand side. I think that it's not numbers on the keypad, it's weird symbols.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's just kind of, this gate is hovering over the canal, so you can see the water kind of flowing underneath it.
Symbols.
So we know we don't have shrapnel yet. We don't have the climbing rope. I said brute force, and she brute forces it. I think she's just like that after a certain amount of time of like futzing about with the mechanics of this thing, trying to like get into it, she finds just like a large enough piece of pipe and just like start knocking the fucking keypad off and like reaches inside and like starts futzing with things, and like she pulls her arm out and it's not like mangled, but the skin is absolutely a bit cut to shit. But it does open. That is the crucial thing. It does just.
Yeah, I like the idea that Ari is just kind of there with the keypad, and then you start doing it. It's like.
Yeah. Ari gets like a tap on the shoulder, and it's like.
What are you doing with that pipe? You are murdering the box.
Don't worry about it.
That is our way in. I am worried. And then I think you put your arm in, and it's like
Harper goes screaming across the background.
I turn away and leave you to it.
Yeah, I think as you reach your arm in and pull out the wires, there's a burst of sparks, and suddenly there's a kind of a low whirring noise that almost sounds like a growl, and you wait a few seconds, and then suddenly the access gate opens, and you have access to the canals that run across the island. So now it is much easier for you to get wherever you want to go.
Oh shit! So that's what. Oh, we have tunnel access now. Oh, that's nice.
The Gordian not in action.
Those are the dark gray bits on the map. Is that correct?
Let me just have a look.
Time to engage in mole person behaviors.
Dark gray bits.
Yeah, so the orange is the routes. The dark gray, I'm imagining, are the sewers or like the canals because they're following the water pattern, right?
Oh,
yeah,
I see.
On the top left. Yeah, I think you are right.
To go to reactor facility right by the lake. We could go straight to reactor facility from here.
Yeah, that's what I'm picking up from this. Tell me if that I'm wrong.
No, I think you're correct. Yes, and there's also a little bit of loot. You can grab an upgraded boat. You don't need to use the lifeboat anymore. You can use a canal barge instead.
Yes, the dream.
You have one more Remington M870 shotgun, and you have two pieces of recon gear. So it is up to Mabel to decide who gets what.
Actually, yeah. Mabel immediately hands Calliope the shotgun.
Oh, I am not there, but if you save it for Calliope, she will take the shotgun.
Yeah, no, it's just like immediately she's just like, she doesn't say anything, but it's just like, okay, well, I know where this goes now.
Damn.
The rectangle goes in the square hole. I think she hands Ari the recon, one of the pieces of recon gear. She keeps one of the pieces of recon gear, and to Harper, she says, "I can't wait to see how you kill somebody with this," and points towards the boat.
Harper. got really excited when you held onto the shotgun and didn't immediately give it away. And then you point her towards the boat, and the light dims in her eyes for just a second, and then they spark back up as she has an idea.
Oh no.
Vehicular manslaughter part 2.
Prevent this woman having ideas.
Hang on. Right now, I have a femur and a boat.
Painfully.
Right now, I have a femur and a boat, and that's all I have.
The femur could have been put into
Femur,
where
a
the
boat
wires
is
were
green.
to save that arm being. We could have used the
Nobody
femur.
asked for my femur, and I was using it like a woo 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 at the, on the
Oh,
beach.
in fairness, yeah, you weren't there. You weren't.
Yeah,
there.
so, but also, if you guys don't give me weapons, then I've got to get creative, and I won't.
This is why Mabel's like, no, take the boat.
It has been established that this is your type of weapon.
Exactly.
Now.
Exactly.
I was gonna be absolutely unable to do anything in the final showdown last time. If you because I didn't have any weapons, I had to get crafty.
One grenade and just Moxie.
I had a grenade and a truck. What did you
think?
One grenade and a dream. Yes.
We are now forming a pattern, and it will become expected that you're able to do these things.
Yeah,
with a canal boat.
Wait until you give her a gun.
Yeah, Mabel's trying to play to everyone's strengths right now. It's what she's trying.
All we know of you.
Everything she's going with what she knows. Everybody's good at. She saw Calliope just taking people out with a shotgun last fight. She knows that some absolutely buck wild action movie Die Hard nonsense happened with Harper in that truck, and she trusts Ari to find things. Like it's
makeup and manslaughter. That's your reputation.
Oh my gosh! Yes, the alliteration.
Incredible.
What is recon gear, please? I've written it down, but I don't know what it means.
It's like walkie-talkies, like binoculars.
Amazing.
That's definitely Ari's wheelhouse, I must say.
Yeah.
Time to get communicative.
Okay, and for Calliope, I have rolled for the mystery pot stirrer, and the number you need to beat in order to figure out who they are is a 15.
Jesus Christ!
Can I help? Can we help?
Yes, absolutely. If you are not participating in a contest that's not a challenge node, you can help. Let me just remind myself how it's called solidarity, which I quite like. As someone who enjoys unions, I like that this the mechanic is called solidarity.
Love a good union.
Team.
So a competitor may choose to sit out a contest to provide support. They pass a copy of their capability die to the competitor player of their choosing. In this case, it would be snake mode for this contest.
That's my D8.
So Ari would gain 1 trust with Calliope and mark 1 new follower box. This is a phase 1 contest, and there's not a challenge node, so people can sit out this one. And yes, there we go. So you would gain 1 trust rather than losing it, Ari. And
nice.
What is your capability die for snake mode?
D8.
D8. So
D8.
Calliope would add a D8 to her roll.
Duly noted. Okay, so let me try to figure the math out for this, and please tell me if I'm doing it wrong. So what I'm going to do, so this is snake mode, is that correct? That's a D6. Yes. I will burn 1 fatigue to add social game, which is a D8. Because I'm trying to go about this diplomatically. I will include a D6 for my name. I will include a D6 for my occupation. I feel like elementary school teacher is a great like mediator, like scope out who smeared, dirt on the back of so-and-so child.
Who put the kick me sign on the back of Mr. Parkinson.
And what I cookie from the cookie jar.
What I will do
just disappointed.
What I will do also is I will burn a trust with Mabel to add her dice. Is that correct?
Yes, you can add Mabel's name die.
Okay, so that's another d6. I've ran out of d6, but I'll just roll.
Do you want to use my name die? Because my name die just went up to d8.
Probably do want to use.
Oh, sure. Okay, then let's do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very big.
Smart.
No one
So
gives a fuck
many
about it.
dice.
They want to use their name die.
Okay,
That's
so
at least 3 d8s.
yes, let's roll
And
the
both of them
d8s
have, two of them have
first,
d8s.
and then there's 4 d6s if I did math correctly. Okay, and then one more. It's a 5, a 6, and a 4.
So you add the two
So-
highest together. So that would be that would only be 11, unfortunately.
Don't you add 4 as well, or have I? missed
You
that?
you add d4s if you use acquisitions.
I would like to use an acquisition.
I'm gonna say yeah. Go ahead.
I will use the one of my survival gears.
Sweet.
Oh my god, it's a fucking 4.
Yeah.
I was so
You
clinched.
missed it!
I was so clinched. I looked like a prune. Okay.
Oh.
That's good because I had 2 survival gears and I did not use one last time. Okay, so
Oh.
so basically what happens is in the background, the other 3 are like smashing the number pad into this facility. So they're not like physically nearby, but what I will do in terms of like using trust is borrow the like names or like the vibes of the person. So if Maddie, if you describe what Calliope walks into, then I can bounce off of it a little.
Yes. So I think you think back to your time on the boat, where there were not perhaps all the remaining competitors there, but at least a large quantity, and there was maybe like a mess hall that you went to for breakfast and stuff while you were on the boat. And there's this one frickin' guy, who's just always chatting someone up, always had this smug look on his face, and you remember him talking to each of the people that the others mentioned. You did not see Callisto because you were not aware that she was still alive, but you would bet all the money you had that it was this guy, and you think that his name is Burchard.
Burchard. And do I know if he's part of an existing coalition?
You don't think he is part of any alliance. He seems to be kind of operating on his own. He's described himself as a fixer, but you're not entirely sure what that means.
Okay, perfect. So I follow the footsteps from the beach of the terrified 2 people who we waved the femur bone at, and I follow them in hopes of just trying to link up and see, maybe tell them like things are okay, but perhaps when I link up with them, I find that this individual, Burchard, if you allow it, is there, and what I would like to do is come into it with like a what is a non-sexist way to say the boys will be boys type sentiment, where it's like, oh, like it's the I'm trying to excuse away Harper and Ari's like absolutely yes
Non-sexist way, it's just banter, mate.
yes exactly.
Oh
Okay,
my goodness.
perfect. So
Banter.
okay, revise this a little. So I follow the footsteps along the beach of the 2 people that we scared away, and I find them perhaps crouched with their team or something of the like. And in a way, the affiliated groups somewhat become like circumstantially affiliated with each other just because they aren't like locked in with some greater force. And what I will do is, seeing that they clearly don't have a lot of their own resources, Calliope will pull out one of her existent survival gear packs. It has like things to make shelter, food, and a fire. And the entire time she's doing that, the ticker thing will say Calliope Lee, elementary school teacher, great at diffusing verbal bombs. And the entire time she's going to say, oh, like my group, it's full of big personalities, and they love to, just like kind of talk shit, but it's okay. I mean, it's a lot of bluster. We have a decorative femur now, which is an interesting decision. But they're oh, she tries to say they're harmless and realizes that we've done so much harm, and instead she says they're really nice once you get to know them. And she just tried, which is also not true. But
that along with big personalities. That along with big personalities is the classic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How do I not say that these people are awful?
Yeah.
In the nicest way possible.
I can't believe you've done this.
Yes. But Calliope is not like she doesn't believe what she's saying, but she understands that the power of words carries, and from these people, I believe she learns of Burchard, and hopefully that by reassuring these people that we are in the scope of Deathmatch Island fairly normal, that his words won't carry as much weight. And then in the background, I hear, yes, woo! And we see along the beachfront running with a femur and then like making a bracelet out of seaweed. I go, yeah, exactly. See? And I just point. That's how I use that name token. So
all you need to add is that someone is a bit of a character.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, definitely bit of a character is thrown in there.
Fantastic. Yes, this absolutely works. You snake mode and social game your way into kind of moving the conversation along to who they might have heard these rumors from and who those people might have heard those rumors from. And they all remember this guy kind of mooching about both on Island 1 and on the boat, whispering in people's ears, trying to spread some shit. And yeah, you are pretty confident that you have your perpetrator of lies / inconvenient truths.
Perfect. I will walk away with the knowledge of Burchard the pot stirrer. Do we receive anything from this challenge besides the social stigma being removed?
Yes, that is unfortunately the only reward. There are no material rewards for this one.
I it's funny that I do this when the rest of the party is like openly threatening every NPC we come across. So I'm sure that these actions will be undone shortly, but that's okay.
The game is Deathmatch Island.
That's true.
So I think I'm very happy to adapt this, but if everyone is happy, I think that Calliope is now technically the leader because she just won the next contest and was best in that contest. So I think perhaps, but maybe Calliope and Mabel can both kind of collaborate on where we go next.
I'm going to say this. Calliope in this group, with her dynamic as it is now, is a naturally deferential person. I think when she meets up with the squad, she would disseminate the information, receive the Remington shotgun, and just ask Mabel where she wants to go. I think she would defer this.
Cool.
Not even receiving her. It is, you approach and immediately it is just like outhanded to you. No words. No one says anything.
Yes.
You know what to do with this.
Did you get anything useful?
So I received the name of the shit stirrer, and hopefully, at least in the short term, this will prevent other groups from seeking us out, as it were. I don't necessarily mind if we make a name for ourselves, but right now, I think we still have a lot of enemies, and I would love if they killed each other a little bit before we swoop in and get the scraps.
That does sound sensible.
Little dull though.
Nothing dull about surviving.
No, there's a
Death
couple of
seems
dull things about surviving.
infinitely duller.
Nothing interesting about being passive.
Is it passive or is it just convenient truths?
We just broke into a canal system. That doesn't seem very passive to me.
I'll take it under consideration.
Inner party tension, yeah. Okay. Perfect. So, Mabel, where are we going?
Anybody want to get irradiated?
Oh, I would love to get irradiated. I thought you'd never ask.
It's gonna be rad. Let's go.
Due to newfound underwater tunnel access, I think Mabel is just like looking from like Harper to Calliope to Ari, and just kind of looking at Ari. And it's like, reactor.
Is it dead?
You know, they didn't say.
It's going well.
Can I tell from the general environment of this island whether there is likely to be an active nuclear reactor facility on it, or whether it's likely to be desolate and shut down?
All the scientific facilities that you can see in the distance look pretty wrecked. Like they've got moss growing on them, they've got snow covering them.
Oh, there is moss. Oh, let us go.
Okay.
Not the nuclear stuff?
Yeah, there is moss on the nuclear one. That is a combination of two of my favorite things. I think we go there.
Sounds good. And I will kick the boat into gear and experiment with how fast can I make it go.
Redlining this barge.
How often do you need us to get out and deal with locks is my question.
Yeah, I think every once in a while you need to like go and manage a lock, and then the water level changes, and then you can go on your way.
Sorry, I live right by a canal, so this is
me
great
too. Yeah.
choice.
So yeah, as you go on your way through these dark concrete passageways, kind of under the island, over the island, dipping in and out of the hills, you I think Mabel in particular, you see some graffiti on one of the concrete walls, and a corpse lying underneath it. The graffiti says, "I accept my punishment." And it looks like it's red, but you can't tell if it's blood or not. It might be a bit too red to be blood.
Could it be that it's meant to be representative of blood?
Can we stop for a second? And
can you stop this boat?
Yeah.
Can it be stopped?
You want me to stop the boat?
If you can stop the boat, stop the boat.
I stopped the boat.
Can we stop the boat?
Yeah, you can.
Cool. I'm driving the boat, so I can stop the boat. I will just say that we are underground in a tunnel that production could flood, so take that as you will.
They're not going to kill off their 4 best fighters.
Oh,
you guys didn't fight in the last one. I thought you guys didn't fight in the last one.
Not for lack of effort.
Generally.
And Mabel's gonna get out in, I guess. Mabel's gonna get out, like drag her finger through the graffiti to see if it's like still wet. Is it still wet?
It's not. Pardon me. It's not wet. It's dry. It's crusty.
Oh, paint doesn't do that. Oh, paint doesn't do that at all. Oh, that's unbelievably fucked. She is going to rifle through this. I'm assuming they're like clothes, right?
Yeah, there are clothes that look very worn, that look like they have been in this damp and dingy canal sort of corridor, for lack of a better word, for a long time.
Are they regular clothes or are they some iteration of uniform?
That is a very good question. It looks like it is a polo shirt and shorts that are the same color. They're both a kind of turquoise, and they look very unsuitable for this climate.
Oh god. Yeah,
This like
pretty probably for us that. Mabel is going to rifle through his pockets now.
Yes. You find on this person, I think you find what looks like a casting dossier for someone that you don't recognize. The date on it is for about 5 years ago, according to the memories that you currently have. And it appears to be casting them to be on Deathmatch Island. This person has credits acting in local theatre, nothing big. But there's kind of a couple of the roles, like Lady Macbeth, are circled. And someone has written in red pen, could be a good fit for this season.
Huh.
Do we have this relayed back? Do we see this?
I mean,
Like,
I assume we're
picking
all...
up.
season. Odd choice of word. Season.
You know what? This implies something. It implies that this individual not only was cast in Deathmatch Island, but they had access to what I'm assuming is restricted documents about their own person. Assuming that we don't have these documents also.
Yeah, you have never seen a document like this. And comparing the headshot on the casting dossier with the corpse, it's a little difficult to tell, but when you look at certain kind of like there's a certain mole on their face, it's in the same place.
I don't know if there's like a table in like a room in the middle of this. So I can just like leave this on between everybody and go do something else. But I would like to like, just from where I am on the bar, just like, is there a camera I can see?
That's a good question. I think there's almost certainly a security camera in one of these kind of concrete bunker-like spaces.
Mabel is just gonna keep going.
with a bit more enthusiasm.
I assume she was doing this while you all were like talking about this because she's just. There was like, "What do you find?" And then she put it on the table and just like went back out. It's like, okay.
Maybe they were stealing their file, and that is why they were killed off.
Yeah, you look. When Mabel, you were looking at the corpse, it looks like there was some kind of physical trauma, like maybe a head wound.
Yeah,
that was the cause of death.
Yeah, they were murdered. That was.
Apologies again, loyal viewers. It appears that as the team sailed deeper into the canals, we lost their live feed once again. But from reliable sources on the ground, I can fill in the gaps and let you know what you missed. Mabel continued to recount her discovery of the dead body to her teammates, and they discussed theories as to its origin. Then, as the crew began to move on with their journey through the canals, Calliope took the opportunity to ask whether her fellow contestants had a reason for being in the Deathmatch Island competition. Of course, their memories were hazy at best, but Mabel was one of the first to respond.
I don't choose to be most places.
Do you not think maybe this was the first choice that you made for yourself? And I mean, our memories have been taken away from us. Do you think that you would choose to liberate yourself in this way?
Can I be honest with you, Harper? I don't think I would choose to free myself at all.
Oh shit!
I think I don't. Everywhere I go, I have been stuck wherever I was. I tried for a brief screaming moment to claw my way out. And I don't know if it was guilt or compulsion or pure gravity that dragged me kicking and screaming back in, but I did not get free. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm not a person who makes choices.
But you've been making choices ever since you got here. You've been forging alliances and leading the way. Maybe you don't believe that about yourself, but I'm very good at assessing my competitors. And while we are a team, I will be honest, you are all my competitors here. And you have a leader in you. You have a choice, and you have been making choices. And I think you need to give yourself some credit.
I would have a mushroom farm and more tattoos. It's up to you whether you believe her or not.
Like mushroom tattoos? Or...
I'm not yet sure.
You
I
got
quite
time to
like
think
the idea of
about
a
it.
sunflower.
A sunflower?
I haven't really gone for flowers as much before. I think maybe a sunflower up here.
Good to know that with a life-changing amount of money, a mushroom farm and tattoos is high on your list. Very good.
Can I flashback at this point, or?
Yeah, feel free.
Woo!
I don't. Is there any kind of mechanical cost, or can I
No,
just like?
no, I'm
give
very
an
happy
image?
for you to just do it in roleplay.
She flashes back to an image of basically she's in a hospital. It's in an intensive care unit, and there is a figure on a bed hooked up to all sorts of kind of tubes and wires and beeping machinery. And this person looks a lot like her, but a younger male version. And then we flash back out, and she says, maybe a sunflower.
Yes! Oh, yippee! Okay.
What about you, Calliope, seeing as you asked?
Oh, shit. Well, considering that she's not going to be honest here, I guess we will do a mini flashback. You are in a home in American suburbia. There is a desk. There are lo-fi beats playing in the background with headphones that aren't being worn. And there is an extremely stressed looking Calliope, like high school age Calliope, sitting on the bed, just listening as downstairs her parents are making like decisions about where she will go to college, what she will study in college, what dorm she will live in, and like outlining like every single facet of her life. And she's just sitting upstairs in her bed listening to these things. And it flashes back to the present, and she says, Calliope says, I don't really have a lot that I would that I need a lot of money for, to be honest. I live pretty comfortably, but I think that money lets you buy a lot of immaterial things, and that's what I'm more interested in. Like, I think money can buy soft power or hard power in ways, which I do. I mean, I think everyone needs it, right?
Money can buy many goods and services, but
Currency can be exchanged, and it's
it cannot buy job satisfaction or family or many of the things that really matter at the end of the day.
Calliope's eye twitches, but she doesn't say anything.
I think at this point, unless there's anything else that you want to discuss, the canal boat emerges from this concrete tunnel, and in front of you there is a frozen black lake, and sitting at the side of it is this brutalist reactor facility, all concrete and angles. It's an 8-story building shaped like a ziggurat, and there you can, even from this distance, you can hear that there is a speaker at the kind of electric fence that surrounds it, presumably warning you away. You can't quite hear what it's saying, but if you get closer, you might be able to make out what it's saying.
Okay, presuming that the speaker is not saying, hello, welcome to the nuclear reactor facility, I'm assuming we're ignoring it, right?
I'd like to try and figure out what it says, but...
Yeah, Harper is happy to leave everyone sat in their thoughts in the boat. Like, she didn't really give an answer. So she just like parks the boat and then gets out and does like a jaunty little run to try and get within earshot of the speaker.
I think May was kind of with Harper insofar as like as soon as there was an excuse to leave the conversation, as soon as okay, there's an out, I'm going.
Oh, sorry, you didn't want to. You didn't want to sit in.
I have to leave.
Trying to get to know me. Stop.
You didn't want to sit in a tiny vessel while you're forced to character build. You don't want to do that. Oh,
I love how sneaky you were about that. I didn't even notice that you hadn't said anything. That was
I did, but
stealthy.
I let it go.
I redirected and made Mabel confront her issues instead.
You made the entire thing Mabel's problem in a way that was so funny.
And Mabel was already vulnerable after the writing was on the wall. So like
I can see the Taylor wheels turning.
Kicking her while she's down. You're so funny for that.
Okay.
Machiavellian as heck.
No, I was trying to bolster her and be like, you're better than you think you are.
Oh my god.
What?
Not gonna believe
anyway, what is this? What are the speakers saying? Production, please.
Yes, the speaker is saying in a very crackly, distorted voice,
"Turn back immediately. This facility is off limits. If you go beyond the bounds of this fence, an incident team will be summoned to reprimand you."
Reprimand.
Well, this whole thing seems like a reprimand, doesn't it?
Huh. Ari is just very tickled by this. It's kind of like, ha, I've heard worse. I have said worse. We are fine.
I'd like to circle the facility and see if there's like it's surrounded by a fence.
Yes,
I'd like to look for like I'd like to look for like if there's anywhere that the fence has been cut, anywhere that the fence has fallen down, like listening to see if the fence is actually live in the first place.
Beautiful. Okay, it sounds like you're wanting to get in, which is a redacted contest. So this redacted contest will be versus the incident response unit, because as soon as you approach,
I don't believe in.
I thought that was a lie.
It like in another story it might be, but in this one, unfortunately,
I thought it was an old recording.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So I'm
like
gonna.
It is a competition. We're meant to be here.
Yeah, I'm gonna build the dice pool.
Things on the island that we're not supposed to see.
Yeah,
they're trying to figure out if we're clever enough to stay alive and not poke things.
Oh god!
I really hope there's a rocket launcher in here.
Can I also make it? I'm trying to look at the support because what I would like to do is a support where I just don't think there is one that would actually be helpful. Like just with the mechanics and how that works. So I think I think May was going to try to also get it on her own, and so far as hopefully this helps by just giving them a second problem to deal with.
Yeah.
Okay, so
when
this
you say
contest. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say when you say rocket launcher, Ari just kind of goes. But
I
doesn't
love
say anything.
I love the facial expressions of superiority.
So this contest is both restricted and dangerous. So if you fail, you will take an injury, and you
Mhm.
cannot use any acquisitions apart from redacted acquisitions. And unfortunately, I believe you
We
have
don't have
no
any.
redacted acquisitions. So acquisitions are off the table for this one.
You're telling me I can't use my femur for this?
You can try. You can absolutely try.
Use your femur for everything else.
Yeah.
Well, you're using 2 right now.
I mean, the femur is not something that Deathmatch Island gave you. I'm assuming it's just a bone. I'm sure it's fine.
Stolen femur.
Yeah.
Mark's red in your inventory.
It's gonna come in useful during the showdown, and then who's gonna be laughing then?
Yes.
You very loudly as you club someone to death with a bone, as we get
But,
absolutely Neanderthal with it.
Yeah, but the good
Make
news
no
is that
bones about it.
the target number for this is 11, so it's not
Okay.
too
Oh,
difficult.
lovely.
Perfect.
So this is for trying to break in, or like disable the fence so that the team doesn't come out to.
Yes, we can see how the dice fall, and then we can narrate what happens accordingly.
Okay.
Are we all
Alright.
rolling for this? Sorry.
If you do not have to roll for this one. This is not a challenge node, and this is not phase 2, so you can sit out and help if you like, or you can participate. Entirely up to you.
Just so that I can tell if my name die changes, for the previous snake mode situation that Calliope was in, does she get new followers or no?
Oh yes, you are absolutely correct. You get I believe 15 new follower boxes.
15! Jesus! Okay.
Damn!
Because that was the target number, and that's what the person who's best gets.
God damn. Wait, did
Okay.
we
You get.
mark followers?
Do you
We did mark followers for the yeah, we did mark followers.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah, it was only 5 for that one.
Okay.
We're about to mark followers for some shit right now. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you that much for free.
Dice pool. D8 for my name. D6 for crime boss breaking and entering. D6 for redacted, and I'm going to spend a fatigue and include deathmatch because this is strategy and tactics trying to break into this place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Raro. We can use trust still if you want that. We just can't use acquisitions. But
We
human
can.
beings.
So do I get to add your die to my pool?
I believe that is how it works, but Maddie can.
I think you add our name die, right?
Yes.
Or do I replace my die with yours?
No, it's in addition to.
Yes.
In addition?
Yeah, if you spend trust with another competitor, you get to add a copy of their name die.
Can I spend a trust with Calliope?
Sure.
And the way that I'm going to kind of do this is I'm kind of like relying on her like heightened sense of trust after the kind of exercise that we did on the boat, knowing that I've pulled one or thinking that I've pulled one over on her. And I'm kind of ordering her about and playing into that deference that she seems to have for the rest of us to try and like scope things out further.
Good. And Calliope knows this and is willing to play into it. I think so.
Oof.
Okay, and then it's your name die, which is a d6.
My name die is now a d8.
Oh my goodness! I'm just gonna reroll one of these d8s. Then that's cocked.
I have 4.
I hit an 11.
400.
Nice.
200.
200.
6 and a 5.
Oh, good.
Before that, it was a 6, a 1, a 1, and a 2.
Oh my god!
Yay! Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Fantastic. Who else wants to go?
That was intense.
I have a question.
Yes.
If you have more than one occupation, do you add 2 occupation dice?
I think you can add whichever occupation is relevant. So it may be,
Okay, cool.
I think it may be one or both of them.
Okay. I am doing maths. So if anyone else wants to go.
You know what? Because of the RP that just happened with Harper, I think Calliope will aid. How do I do that? Since it essentially sounds like I'm doing that anyhow. How do I aid?
You can aid someone who hasn't gone yet.
Oh, I see.
You can gain 1 trust with the person you're helping, and then they get to add a copy of your capability die to their roll.
Then I will leave it alone since she has already gone. So I guess I'll just go. So this is redacted. I have a D6 in it. My name die is a D8. I really cannot possibly fucking imagine how elementary school teacher leans into this. Do I really just want to roll these 2 dice? That sounds like bonkers. I will spend a trust with the doctor, the good doctor. And is that your name dice as well, Ari?
So my name die is a D6.
Okay. I will do that by presuming that the nuclear scientist or the nuclear engineer knows more about facilities like this than I do. So I will be following like her, like however she's approaching this body posture or like whatever, I will hopefully be following. A 7, a 6, and a 4.
Nice.
Which is
13.
13.
Incredible.
Thank you, math wizard.
Fantastic. All right, who's up next?
I think Mayla's gonna take a crack at this. All right, you. Nisha, do you want to go?
I don't mind. You can go ahead if you like.
All right. What is it? It's name die D6. It's redacted die D6. I'm going to. Mayla's going to take a fatigue and use challenge beast because that's we are
brute force.
Brute force, and she's going to use 1 trust with Harper, to use Harper's D8 name die, and I don't know if it's exactly reliance. I think it is trust more in an emotional sense of, well, you wanted to see me make a decision? Here we fucking go. Before trying to find the weakest point in this electrical fence, get like something relatively non-conductive, like a thick stick or like a fucking wooden pole or something. And
you have a metal pipe.
Well, the metal pipe is conductive is the problem.
But then you'll get electrocuted. Never ignore me. Ignore me. Don't do that.
Science!
Don't do that. Get the femur, stick it in the metal pipe.
Actually, yeah,
have
that's
a longer thing.
Leave my femur alone, because when Calliope gets to distribute the weapons and I don't get one, I have an idea about how I'm going to use that femur in the showdown, and I'm going to have to check the lines and veils.
If you use the femur once, is that it then?
Yeah, I get to use
the femur consumable.
I'm going to say it's not an acquisition because you can't use it to add d4s to your roll. So it is.
I think that you should let me use it to add a d4 to my roll when you hear what I'm going to do with it.
Okay, I'm very willing to hear a pitch. I am very willing to hear a pitch.
Oh gosh.
Give me weapons, or I'm going to have to start using improvised femur weapons.
If Calliope is ever in charge of handing them out, I will.
Oh my god.
This is so much more fun, you know.
Rabbits here at the table.
We've had setup, we've had payoff, we have reminder. I don't imagine we'll have payoff for the femur bit. I don't imagine we'll see the bone again. Oh,
I fully believe we will. I know it in my bones. No pun intended.
Oh.
Okay. Is that everyone? Has everyone rolled? Or no?
8 and
not yet.
5 are the highest rolls. 8 on the D10, 5 on the D6. Those are 3 on the D8 and a 1 on the redacted D6.
Nice. So 8 and 5, that is 13, I think.
Oh no, 13. You're right. It's 7 and 5 is 12.
Okay.
Fantastic. Okay, time for Ari to go.
I would like to not attack the electric fence. I'd like to kind of walk around the outside as sneakily as I can and just try and gauge more about the facility itself and what we're about to get ourselves into. I'm just trying to figure out what kind of place this is specifically
Nice.
and whether I can kind of prepare a bit more or like warn people in advance what we're about to get ourselves into.
Fantastic. Give me a redacted challenge dice pool.
Fantastic. So I've got D6 for redacted, D6 for name. I feel like occupation, I don't think there's going to be a better match. So D6 for occupation.
You got to add it.
I'd like to spend 1 fatigue for a snake mode die, so a D8. And I'd like to spend a trust with Calliope, if that's all right, for another D8.
Fantastic.
So I have 3 trust remaining with you. Basically, I think Ari notices that you are watching her and figuring out what she's going to do. And it's kind of like, it's just kind of mutual understanding. And when you have kind of those shots in films of like task forces being super sneaky, and it's kind of like that, just that communication between them as they're like, right, you go around this way, I'll go around this way. It's kind of like that of, all right, I'm going to do this, you go help them with that. And kind of trusting that we both know what's going on. So that is sorry, let me scroll.
So my name die is a D8.
So that's a D8. So that I believe is 3d6, 2d8, which I'm now going to roll. Okay, so out of all of those, I have 3 6s. So my 2 highest are 2 6s. So that is a 12.
Beautiful.
Nice.
All of you managed to make it in without incurring the ire of the instant response unit, however that means for you. So starting at the lowest, we've got Harper. How do you help the team get into the reactor facility?
So we get so it's like Harper Hoffman, age 33 question mark. No one can tell her what to do. And like, so she sits in the confessional and she's just like, well, I saw the gate and I was like, oh, this is definitely a challenge. This is strategy. Obviously, there's going to be something really valuable inside. So I just did what I always do. I scoped the place out. I'm always eyeing up my competition. And I found the weak point. And that's what you've got to do. And then you've got to let your teammates handle the rest. So she like finds like a place where like the electric current has kind of stopped working. And it's kind of like a weak point in the fence.
Perfect. All right. Up next is Ari.
So Ari kind of skulks around the building, kind of looking up at the speaker, kind of trying to assess how recent the recording is, looking around across the landscape to see if there are any buildings nearby that could be housing a potential response team, anywhere someone could be hidden. Does she see anything? Does she see any kind of activity, or is it all kind of quiet for now?
Yeah, I think there is a sort of a temporary hut, like that you sometimes get at schools when they're building a new
new gymnasium. Yeah,
a new gymnasium, and they need to put the teachers somewhere.
Yeah.
And you can see that there is a light on in there.
Okay, I keep sneaking around. I go all the way around the facility while my teammates are dealing with the fence, and I relay the information back to them when I get there, just so they know that if they fail, there is the likelihood of a quick response, and that even if we succeed, we're still going to have to be quite stealthy because there is a light on in the hut not too far away, and that would indicate that either if this is some kind of challenge, that we're being watched, or if it is not a challenge and the recording is genuine, that we may soon be being watched. So, yeah, just kind of letting them know the literal lay of the land.
Perfect. All right, now we have to have a roll-off between Calliope and Mabel to see who is best.
What die would you like to roll us off with? D6? D20?
I think it's your name dice.
Oh, then a D8 for me.
That's fine.
All right.
That sounds like an 8.
It's a 1.
Yeah.
Yippee!
That did not sound. Oh, I was so
Praise
unbelievably wrong. I thought I was hosed completely.
No, Calliope wants her friends to succeed.
Calliope is trying to move everybody upwards with a rising tide.
If my response is copyrighted by the Oxventurers Guild, please feel free to cut it out.
Okay.
That is extreme bad luck.
Oh God, that's rough.
So, Calliope, you get to describe how you help the team first.
Yes. Tell me again about that little hut with the light on. You said it's like a teacher temp room type thing.
Yeah, it's like
Is there
when
someone in there?
you I think once Ari points it out to you, you kind of sneak around to get a better look, and you can absolutely see there is someone in like a bulletproof vest kind of moving past the window.
So you know what's great about being in an underfunded US elementary school is that things are always under construction and it takes 1 billion years and nothing is ever done. So Calliope actually taught in like one of these little squares for like 3 years when a pipe burst during a winter storm and the art department got flooded. So what's great about that is she knows exactly how shitty some of the pre-built facilities in it are. Like the windows have like these kind of like not great tents on them and other stuff like that. And so you see Calliope Lee, elementary school art teacher, and then the tagline is has eyes and a brain. And you see she makes eye contact with the good doctor, and then kind of just approaches, not so close, not like adjacent to the window, but just close enough to try to get a peek in. And she sees the cameras that they do have. And so by a process of elimination, she knows where they aren't watching. And she relays that to Mabel, who does a layup, I'm assuming. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Slam dunk, slam dunk, slam dunk.
I think what was it? Harpoon found like the place that's like the least sort of electrified, and I don't. Oh, I hate to know, but I don't think the place that's the least electrified was one of the places that they couldn't see you on the camera. I think they, but like, I think there's a place that's like it's doable if you wedge the fence open, but someone has to like wedge the fence open. Someone has to get the thing open enough for people to get through, and then it's doable. And that part is going to be rough. That person is going to eat a few volts. And I think Mabel is like driving this thing home. She powers through that and like eats a couple thousand to like pry the fence through enough to like get people through.
Wait, are you literally charging this fence? No pun intended. Are you?
No, not charging the fence, but she is like
barging into it.
No, she's not. No, that was kind of a bit, but she is like, I don't know. She's does she want to? Can Mabel borrow the I don't know why that's the motion I did with the femur. I couldn't remember what the bone.
No, you can't have my femur.
Possessive femur possessiveness.
It's not your femur.
Until
It's a random person who died.
Well, they're dead, and it's not theirs anymore because you can't own things once you're dead. Until I'm given a weapon, this is my femur, and no one else can use it.
I love her.
I was gonna give it back.
I don't know if production's going to allow that.
With like a large branch, and just like it's the safer way to do this, but I don't imagine it's entirely clean. So I think the fatigue is from like stray sparks and like accidentally connecting the two bits of metal with herself for once or twice. But yeah, we get a hole in the fence large enough for us all to like just be able to go through and not be seen by cameras.
Can I also just briefly say, I know that there's a part of this document that's like, mark your fatigue, mark your injuries. There needs to be like an addendum section just for Mabel where it's like things that didn't technically cause an injury, but like later when she goes to her primary care physician, they're going to be like, what happened to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does insurance cover this? God, now.
Brilliant. So you all file through the hole in the fence that Mabel has so bravely made. And as you very carefully creep into the reactor facility, we are going to take a short break.
Yep.
And we will be back very soon. So see you then.
See you soon.
And we're back. So you make your way inside the reactor facility. You can see, first of all, there's a derelict room filled with mist and overgrown with tropical plants. And you pass through that room and you go into a massive control room, and there's huge banks of decades-old switches and dials and status lights. And then beyond that, there are strange, large spheres of riveted steel trailing umbilical wires and cables. And finally, you come into a room that is just filled with slugs. There are just slugs on the walls, on the furniture, on the ceiling. They're just everywhere. Yes, Anusha.
Okay, so it goes tropical plants. Then what was after that? Sorry.
Control room.
Control room, and then slugs.
Yes. There's also big spheres of wires.
Sorry,
and
I heard
cables.
tropical plants, and in character just went. I would like to collect some samples, discern what's there, if that's all right, figure out if there's anything particularly
Absolutely.
interesting.
Yes, and in your investigations of this reactor facility, you also come across 4 assault rifles and 4 tier 2 redacted acquisitions and 1 tier 3 redacted acquisition.
Okay. So assault rifle.
Okay, everybody's getting an assault rifle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you also find a classified map of Island 2, so you can, if you wish, turn to the second page of the map document and see if there's anything different on it.
Classified map, assault rifle, redacted items. Where is the map?
Yeah.
There's a new location.
Emergency munitions cache?
Yeah, the
Ooh.
emergency munitions cache.
Is there anything else different?
Oh my gosh. You know what this means? Mabel
What?
gets to decide who gets what again.
Yeah, let's go!
Gonna hand someone 2 assault rifles.
I swear.
Oh my god.
But this is interesting. So everyone gets weapons. Are these redacted weapons or are these standard ones?
So for the redacted acquisitions, if you get one, you roll on a table to see what kind of thing you get.
Ooh. Roll. What dice?
So we each
It's,
get one. Presumably, if we're sharing equally, we each get 1 tier 2 redacted, and then someone gets 1 tier 3 redacted.
Yeah, correct. And it's a d20 to roll on the table.
Okay. I personally think the other
17.
one should be Mabel.
For tier 3?
So
Yeah.
Harper's tier 2 redacted acquisition is an improvised firearm (zip gun).
Oh yeah, weapon
I'm just
time!
writing
All the
zip gun
weapons.
in all caps.
I will roll. That is a 13 for me.
13 chaff grenade (electronic interference).
Okay, so it's a D20, yeah?
Yes.
That's an 8.
An 8 is gas capsules.
Ooh.
Very on theme so far.
Hold on, I have to clear out my
Yeah.
dice box.
So, who's getting the tier 3?
I'm going to be a little selfish and take the tier 3.
Do it.
I think you've
Yeah.
earned it. You've got yourself
Everyone's
electrocuted.
one for Ma, so I need to mark that. And tier 2, tier 3.
Yeah. So you get 2 d20 rolls.
Did I collect any plant samples while I was wandering through the?
Yes, absolutely. They all seem to be relatively mundane, but as someone with an interest in botany, they are perfectly fascinating on their own.
Well, what's also interesting about them here is that Island 2 is like a subpolar Scandinavian island. Is that correct?
Yes. So
Okay.
yeah, the
But
room.
this is like a greenhouse, right?
Yeah. So in the room that you find the tropical plants, it is very humid. It is very warm. There seems to be pumping in humid air.
I guess
So the way you described kind of the mist in the door immediately made me think we're about to face a Dark Souls boss.
You step through the door.
I'm interested in the control panel room.
I'm interested in the
I'm interested in the slugs.
How big are the slugs? What are we?
They're regular sized slugs.
Okay. That's
How many are there?
somehow stranger. That's
They're-
somehow less settling.
There's
Hundreds, thousands.
there's at least 100.
I think everywhere, like on the walls and the floor. And
Walls, floor, ceiling. Yeah, furniture.
try not to step on any.
What rolls did you get, Mabel?
I'm. I got a 5 on the tier 3 and a 14 on the tier 2.
Okay, so 5 is a wristwatch. Presumably, it's got something more sinister about it. And then a 14 is a cryptographic code book.
That would have been helpful for the
Yeah.
for the canal
Yeah.
access gate.
And it's good that it's now in the hands of the person who's the most likely statistically to use it and to not bust down the door. Yippee!
Yeah.
All right, wristwatch, strange, and cryptographic
Code book.
Nice.
code. Thank you.
What?
I-
Oh, go ahead.
Not retroactively, but like upon knowing what this is, could I give these to other people?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
I guess she's gonna keep the wristwatch, and I think give the code book to Dr. Yurkowski.
Oh. Thank you very much. This looks most interesting.
I also have something to give. Tell me, Harper, what weapons do you have?
In theory,
Now.
if we split it evenly,
You're splitting it evenly.
I have one assault rifle and something that's called a zip gun.
And
Okay.
a femur.
And a femur.
And a femur.
You know what? You have one. Okay, so one redacted weapon and one assault rifle. Is that what you said?
Yes. I now have 2 guns, which is more guns than I've had for the entire game.
Okay. Are you happy with that?
I am overjoyed.
Okay. Good. I ask because, according to this sheet, I have 3 weapons. Well, and the redacted one. I just haven't used. I used one. I used the Remington shotgun last time, but I have been holding on to the other acquisitions. So,
Oh yeah, how much stuff can we have?
presumably, as much as
As
this
many di-
holds.
As many diamond boxes as there are next to it, so 2 of each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a grenade, an assault rifle, gas capsules. Is that 3? Is that more than I can have?
You can have, I think you can have as many individual items as you want, but you can't have more than 2 of the same item.
Yeah.
I see.
That should be fine.
Nisha, did you put down the code book on your
I
sheet?
did, thank you, yes.
Okay, cool. I'm going to delete it off mine.
Can I mess with the control center?
Yeah, sure.
Define mess with. Oh,
Calliope will join.
I want to see if it's like connected to anything.
I'm overseeing this.
You're
not looking at slugs?
You're looking at slugs and plants. I'm busy, thank you.
The control room is in between the slugs and the plants.
As your hand is hovering over the control panel, you hear 3 klaxons, and you know that the deathmatch is about to begin.
Perfect. For my scout phase, I'm going to use the control thing. Because I have a brilliant idea. If this works the way that I want this to work.
All right, so zooming out, I'm going to give you the lay of the land for this Phase 2 event. The Alpha Alliance has fortified their position and a heavy firefight rages there. So I'm going to say that the Alpha Alliance has managed to find a sort of outpost on the other side of the lake and are holed up in there. And there's gunfire going wild over there. Elsewhere, the surviving Reborn push for an unorthodox resolution. The Reborn don't want to shoot this out. They're waving a white flag. So they're further down the shore of the lake. They're waving the white flag. They suggest drawing straws to see who has to die. Can you trust them? Meanwhile, the Alpha Alliance have holed up in the building. Can you break through? So you can either break into the Alpha Alliance fort or join the Reborn, who are drawing straws to see who has to die, or you can come up with a different solution and we can figure that out as we go.
I know what I really want to happen. I just need to know if this command center is hooked up to anything on the island.
I think that unfortunately none of the lights are blinking. It seems to be dead. When you start pushing the buttons and pulling the levers, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
You know, if the large wire spears are in the adjacent room, if there's something we can do to like fix or set up or turn
this
on.
isn't gonna do what I think we hope it's gonna do, or what I hope it's gonna do.
What are you hoping for?
I am hoping that it's an out there idea, but I was really hoping that we would be able to control certain like elemental or like stage pieces around the island. And I wanted to turn the volcano on and burn all of the Reborn at the other end of the lake. So it was out there. It's fine.
Is it possible for us to do?
If you roll really well, yes.
Because I'm down.
I think easier is because is this like an actual reactor facility?
You don't know.
Oh fuck me!
As a nuclear engineer,
we don't want to be.
This has been my entire career. What can I divine about this place and its function and the things within it and what I can do with them?
This place doesn't make sense. This place is. It seems to have kind of biological facilities. It seems to have physics-related facilities. It's just a mess, and the technology here, you've never seen anything quite like it. You think that you've kind of got a thread on what's going on, and then something just doesn't make sense. Something is wrong.
None of this makes sense as science. I think somebody is messing with us. I think this is all part of the test. It is fantastical. None of it connects up. Every time I think I figured out what's happening on, there is something that undoes all of it. Like this is not my bailiwick.
Okay.
While also being very much my bailiwick and source of my enthusiasms, but it is not cohesive and coherent. we are going to have to be creative. And she looks at Harper.
Here.
Okay, I've got an idea.
Let's hear it.
So the alpha cohort are like holed up in a thing.
Mm-hmm.
If we can make a ramp, we can fly the boat into the wall and crash a hole through it, and then follow up with the assault rifles.
Like one of those pirate boats at theme parks?
Wouldn't even need to do that. I can
Like a battering ram?
like a battering ram. I can put the boat into gear and then use the femur to keep it straight, and then
A boatering ram.
a boatering.
Mabel is smiling so wide directly at her.
If you think you can hit your shots, then
like
It is outlandish, but
You can do it.
you cannot fault us for entertainment value.
oh,
come on. And then and Harper starts to like run out of the building.
Oh my goodness.
Because
I'd
we're
like to
running out of
investigate
time.
these. Like, where are these slugs coming from?
You
Where
can't
are
tell.
they coming from? Are
They're
they just there?
They're just hanging out. They're just chilling, just having a nice time. You assume.
Okay, so we've gotten what we've come
Okay.
for, I guess.
A
unfortunately,
ridiculous amount of weaponry, yes.
we've gotten armed as hell.
Are the Alpha Alliance at a particular spot, like on the map, like a named location, or is it just like wherever we go, they will be above table?
Yes, they are. They're essentially. I'm creating a sort of adjacent node on the shores of the lake, where they are. It is not a marked location on the map.
Sure.
I said, so we have to do the scout phase first, right?
Yes, and for so you are fully informed of what you're getting into. There is a threat that you may need to defend against in the scramble phase, the second phase. The enemy alliance turns on itself inside the fortress, and all the moderate and reasonable members are killed. The violent extremists survive. So
you're gonna hit him with a boatering ram.
So yeah, underneath you, there has been a kind of power struggle where Sunday, the CrossFit trainer, has been pushing for a hardline, violent resolution to problems, whereas her number two is much more moderate. So it's a question of making sure that they are more likely to be alliance friendly following this phase 2.
Okay, this is gonna sound like a shitty question, but do we care if they're alliance friendly?
No.
We haven't been very alliance friendly.
No, we don't. Honestly, we don't care. And at this point, it's too late. I'm already assembling my dice pool for the scout phase. So
All good, all good.
Okay, so what are the different stages of this plan that you have?
okay, well, first of all, we need to get some intel on what they're doing.
And now
So-
some of you have recon gear.
I
Yeah.
also still have a grenade and binoculars, so I can tell what is going on.
Do you want to
if
give
that
me your
helps.
grenade?
What are you going to use it for?
Well, and she picks up a slug. I'm gonna put the slug on the pin.
No.
And
We
no,
do
but
not
when the
harm
slug
slugs.
crawls away. Okay, no, fine. I was gonna do the same thing. The boat will explode twice to blow the hole in the wall, because I assume it's a thick wall. And then that gives us our end. I'm not imagining casualties this time, for a 2 for 2.
Sorry.
We think that we're born unimprovised explosive devices.
That was out of
it's not
character.
improvisation if we practice it. It's
I let us see what we can find out about what they're up to first, and then I will decide whether you can have a grenade or not.
Okay.
Speaking of grenades, why am I so bad with grenades? Calliope, the grenade, the weird grenade you picked up. What is that?
Electronics interference. So I'm assuming it would mean something like interfere with walkie-talkies or electric devices, but I don't think it does damage.
You probably want to save that
We
for
wanna put
Island
Yeah.
that on the
3.
grenade?
Yes. Sorry?
We want to put that on the boat when it goes in?
Not gonna be
Unless we can see that there are like very nearby things that they're using for either communication or defense, I would say save it.
Yeah.
Personal opinion.
Okay. So,
I would.
for my scout roll, because I feel like we need to kind of just get moving a little bit. I've got a D8 for my name. I've got a D8 for deathmatch. Have you rolled what the challenge we have to beat is yet?
Ooh, I need to do that. You are absolutely right.
Did you get followers for the for breaking in the facility?
Oh yeah. Did we get any followers for breaking into the facility?
Yes. So Mabel got 11 boxes.
Nice.
He's
up to anything.
And everyone else got 6.
Ah!
That still doesn't get me to 40k. That's so funny.
I'm 3 off. Ah, drat.
I'm also 3 off.
Okay. So how does this work? So we're doing scouting rolls.
Yes. I just need to roll for the danger level.
I'll make a note. And this is deathmatch, right?
So it can be any skill that you want for this phase. I'm using deathmatch because of tactics and strategy.
Cool.
The next phase, like the actual deathmatch part, I think has to be deathmatch.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. This is going to be you're going to have to try and beat a 15 for this one.
Jeez.
Okay.
Rolling 10s on this roll.
Oh my god.
Makes sense. The Alpha Alliance is on some, so
They were not lying. That alliance is alpha as fuck.
Yes.
Yeah, they have a die for they have their name die. They have a die for strong, for unrelenting, and for team players.
I am going to take a fatigue, and I'm going to add challenge beast on this because my competitive nature is going to come out in full force, based on the outcome of this roll. And I am going to spend a trust, I think, with the good doctor as well.
So do I gain a trust with you then?
Not for this case.
No.
It's only if you sit
out. As well, because you asked me if I have a plan, and I've got a plan. Not good enough.
I think 15 is going to be a little challenging for all of us.
What are your 2 highest?
I've got 2 6s.
12.
Do you want to use any acquisitions for that to boost it up, or do you want to save those for later stages?
I don't have anything that would be narratively relevant because I wasn't given the recon gear, so I'm just going to take the failure.
Very fair. All right, who's up next? You don't need to figure out what you're doing. You just need to figure out what dice you're rolling, and then you can narrate it later.
I can go next.
Sweet.
That's all right. Okay. D6 for name die. D6 for deathmatch. I would like to use a trust with. Can you use more than one trust on this?
I think since they're a resource that you can burn, I think you can stack trust.
Okay. I guess we're gonna put away the Maledict. I need a lot more. Okay, name die, D6. Deathmatch die, D6. I'm gonna keep the watch in my back pocket. Recon gear is a D4. I am about to use so much trust on this that I'm going to burn 1 trust with everybody. So that's 2d8. And 1, I believe, D6, because Dr. Yakati scaled a D6.
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm going to take a fatigue and use a challenge beast on this because it's the only way I'm hitting these numbers. Oh God. Dude, how many dice that is? Oh, that didn't go in there. Okay. That is. Oh my. Okay. Okay. The D4 is additive.
Yes, the D4s are added. Yeah, the highest D4 is added at the end.
Okay. That's 1 on a D8, 4 on a D6, 2 on a D6, 2 on a D6, 9 on a D10, 5 on a D8, 4 on a D4.
Ooh.
So what are the 2
You
highest
roll
of
so
the
good.
non-D4s?
9 and 5.
9
Yeah.
and 5.
14
Amazing.
plus 4, 18.
Someone is taking the W.
And that burns recon gear.
Yes.
It's
And
incredible.
that is 1 fatigue. What happens when you get 4 fatigue?
You take an injury.
Yes!
Oh my gosh.
I am-
She's going to come out in like 3 casts at the end. She's going to have to be rolled out.
Mabel Harper is blazing through that advancement. Like it is. Oh my god.
Right.
So you can use multiple trusts.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Like 1
I may
per
be
person.
incorrect on that, but I'm gonna. If even if it's not the case, I'm gonna house roll it that you can.
9 plus 9 is 18. Okay, yeah, there's my final number.
Holy shit. Amazing.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was many dice in my head.
Anusha, do you want to go next? Or shall I?
I'm still doing maths, so if you're happy to.
I mean, I'm just doing improvised math. I don't think Calliope will make this either. But one thing I wanted to say to Taylor before I go, because you have already hit your first nearly half male followers, remember that you get to add a nickname. And I would love to know.
I'm trying to think of a good one. I'm terrible at nicknames, though. Taylor is terrible at nicknames, and so if anyone comes up with a good nickname for Harper,
I will think about it. I'll mull on it. In the meantime, I guess I'll go. It's a D8 for me for deathmatch. This is deathmatch, correct or no?
It can be any capability that you want.
Sure. I'll do social game. Let's try. Let's try to like open my mouth. I will take a fatigue and add deathmatch just in case. Something.
Can I interrupt?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so this wasn't necessarily deathmatch.
Not necessarily, but
Okay.
yeah.
Retroactively get a fatigue back because I thought this had to be deathmatch.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no problem.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, a D8 for my name die. And do I want to use anything? We are or aren't allowed to use acquisitions.
You are for this one, yes.
Okay, then 1d4. I will also add, if I'm allowed, my occupation since I am doing social stuff with this. Okay. Yippee! Oh god. The highest die is a 7. The d4 I got a 4, and the second highest die is a 4. So 4 plus 7 plus 4 is what?
15.
15.
You've done it.
Honestly, surprised my ass. I now need to think of a nickname for Taylor's character. Oh.
What is the difference fundamentally between Challenge Beast and Deathmatch in terms of what I'm doing?
Challenge Beast is like physical prowess. You're not necessarily attacking someone. You're just like, you're running really fast. You're pushing something heavy. Whereas Deathmatch is like, you are attacking and murdering people and strategizing about how to do so.
Okie dokie. Oof. Do people trust me?
I believe in you. So much I believe in you.
Are you a
You can do
D6 on
this.
your name or a D8?
D6.
Okay. So what I have so far. D8, because I'm choosing snake. That doesn't burn a fatigue, right? I just get to choose one of them.
Yes. Yeah, you get to
Okay.
choose one.
D8 for snake. D6 for name. D6 for occupation. D4 for binoculars. D8 trust with Harper. D8 trust with Calliope. D6 trust with Mabel. D6 for extra challenge beast, burning and fatigue. So that is 1, 2, 3 D8, 1, 2, 3, 4 D6, and a D4.
D4 makes the difference.
And roll. Okay. That does not succeed.
Oof.
I got a 6, a 5, and then a 2 on my D4. That's 13.
That would have been me if I got a 2 on my D4 as
No,
well.
14.
Oh,
Sorry?
6
Have I done
and-
maths wrong?
Yeah, 6 and 5 is 11.
Yeah, 12, 13. Because it's 2 on the D4.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said 3 on the D4.
No, it's a 2.
It's all right.
God damn it.
It can't all be bangers.
But we still
Send me
have
dice.
2 successes. So starting with the lowest score, Harper, what do you try to do in this scouting phase, and what is the less than satisfactory result?
I think Harper is trying to figure out from a distance what their defenses are like, and she's like, oh yes, of course, I'm gonna be able to see it. And she can't quite see it, so she gets in the boat and she starts to drive closer, and I think it's a case of like more so of being spotted. And like some things like thrown at her, like a grenade explodes in the water, kind of thing, and she's forced to retreat before she gets any useful information.
Yeah, very fair. Ari, what do you try and unfortunately fail to do during this phase?
So Ari, can we see? We can see the fortification from where we are, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to say when
So-
you were in the reactor facility, there was a window that you looked out of and you saw
Cool.
a gunfight raging and you saw the white flag waving further down the shore from the
Okay.
Reborn.
So Ari gets out of the facility, sprints kind of halfway to where the facility is. The place where they're holding up that we're about to try and drive a boat into.
Yeah.
And uses the binoculars, but binoculars have got all fogged up, I think, from a sudden change in temperature. And she can't really see through them properly. And is kind of, again, that sudden change in temperature is kind of just hits her really suddenly. And she's forced to kind of very slowly make her way back to the group. And just kind of bundle up a bit. She didn't really anticipate how quick that change was going to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe that Harper and Ari, you both mark 1 new follower box.
Nice. I only need 2 more.
yay!
And Calliope, you're up next. What do you do to try and turn the tide in the team's favor?
You know, great question, especially considering I use my assault rifle to do it, to help me do it. So the assault rifle and diplomacy, we'll see. And deathmatch.
Hey, you can get further with a kind word and a gun than you can with just a kind word.
That's true. Exactly.
You don't need to fire it, you just need to have it prominently.
Put it on the table where everyone can see it.
As Al Capone would say.
So
Al Calliope.
So what I will do, although hopefully this doesn't tread the toes of snake mode too much, Calliope will, while she crouches and waits for the window of opportunity that Harper actually gives, because the boat is seen, they fire at her, and while they're doing that, Calliope sneaks around, not to enter this outpost, but just like towards the back where she is looking for a particular two people. She looks for the short, shaggy blonde hair or the dark-skinned man, and I believe she sees one of them, just gives a, whisper shout, just for them to approach a little bit. And what she's going to do is, I think that Burchard is not the only person who can spread misinformation. Calliope is going to hold up some of the sort of like things that her and her team have acquired, and she's going to say, you weren't aware that all of this other stuff was happening, but the team leaders that you have been keeping a lot from you, and the fact that they're not sharing this information with you is like really terrible. I know we're not on the same team, but in the spirit of honesty, I just wanted to let you know these are people I've communicated with before. So the tag will say Calliope Lee, elementary school teacher, spreader of lies, and she is going to do that and then creep back again under the like covering of whatever Ari's doing and whatnot. So
Beautiful.
can I also pitch just very quickly? Can I also pitch?
Go for it.
Harper Nova Kane, or a damn driver, a pun on Adam Driver, and also the fact that she is a proficient in vehicular manslaughter. Those are my pitches so far, but we'll workshop it.
We'll see which ones stick depending on how successful the boat launch is.
I believe in you. Okay.
I think Nova Kane is
Nova Kane is
Nova Kane is rough.
She's coming out here and taking the pain away by killing you. It's great. All right, go ahead.
Supernova is another one.
Yes.
Supernova. I'm gonna pitch. I'm gonna pitch. They call her Harper Goods vehicle the way she's barreling down at you on the highway.
Long nickname, but good. Okay, I'm still thinking about mine too. So okay,
I guess it would be Harper Goods vehicle.
How many squares do I get?
You get 8.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Swingers.
So, Mabel, how are you best in this contest? What do you do to make the scouting phase a success?
I think Mabel's thing at this point is just it is going from never making a choice in her life to just being god awful, like ballsy and impetuous. So I think when they like start firing at the boat, when Harper drives up, she dives off and swims up to the facility, like under the cover of them firing at the boat.
She's cracked.
So funny.
So you get a D10 advantage die to use either in the scramble phase or in the battle royale phase whenever you want.
I think there's one specific thing I don't know what it is. I think she wants to single out 2 people. One, she wants to find like wherever the leader is, and 2, she wants to find, and this might be the same person, who knows, whoever it was that killed Pratima. She wants to know exactly where they are.
I think that the person that killed Pratima, I think that they're not in this particular fortification. Yeah, you don't know where they are, but you definitely see the leader of the Alpha Alliance. It is the blonde woman who you raced on the Whitewater Rapids, and she has this gleam in her eye. She looks like she's having a great time, just like spraying bullets everywhere.
Yeah, no, Mabel's about to a little bit match her freak. Oh my gosh. Okay, D10 advantage, you said.
Yes, so keep make a note of that, and then you can use that later on. Okay, it's time for the scramble phase. Who wants to announce their competitor first?
Do we have anything that we need to defend from?
Yes. So I'm going to say that now, because Calliope has kind of fully brought the sort of orphan team on side. There is another threat that is possible for you to get. So there's a mole in your alliance ready to cause chaos, 1 injury for every PC. So if you don't defend against this, then everyone will get injured. And then the other threat is the enemy alliance turns on itself inside the fortress, and all the moderate and reasonable members are killed. The violent extremists survive. So it's up to you whether you want to defend against one or both of those, or if you just want to seize control.
I'm gonna seize control, Your Honor. What's the challenge rating?
Let me see. That's cocked. It is a 14 this time.
Oh, so much more reasonable. Okay. We've got a D8 for my name. I don't think my occupation is going to be relevant because this is where I'm going to crash the boat into the wall to cause a little bit of chaos. And I just don't think that crime boss and boat.
I mean, it is a crime.
It is a crime.
You're breaking and entering. It is a crime.
And I
Would
believe
we say it's enough of a crime?
I think so. And I think we need to come to a consensus as to what capability this contest will be, depending on how you're approaching it as a group. So
I mean,
I
if we're
think
crashing a boat into a building, it feels like
deathmatch. Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm very good at deathmatch, thank you. And then, do I get the grenade?
Sure.
Perfect. And then I'm gonna burn a trust with literally everyone in the group because they're trusting me to blow a hole in the wall. So it
requires a lot of trust. Yeah.
It's a D6 for the Doctor and Mabel and a D8 for Calliope, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
You can do it.
Okay, that's a 7 and a 6, and 1 on the D4, so that is 14 exactly.
Beautiful.
It was like a 7, a 6, a 6, a 5, a 5, and a 4.
Whoa.
Trust!
Trust!
The magic
That's
of
what we
Oh.
call a trust
The
exercise.
doctor doesn't trust me anymore though. So
Well, you know.
Well, you don't. I've got 0 trust with you, so.
Oh, we have so much trust together. I always forget that.
Despite that, I gave you a grenade, so God knows what I'll do when I trust people.
yeah.
All right, who's up next?
We didn't get
Kind of
we don't get followers.
Fine, child, take the explosive.
Oh, Mabel, you get 15 new follower boxes.
Ooh.
We are okay, so that's 12 on it. That's 40. That's 400,000. 12 on a new rank. We are in the
Yay! Now you get a nickname too.
oh god.
So is the grenade part of the part of this phase? Like the throwing the grenade?
I've used the grenade to help me punch a hole in a wall.
Okay. And that has succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I have an idea what I might do.
Who wants to assemble their dice pool?
I'm just going to do some maths.
I guess I will do it. I will. So this is deathmatch, so that's a D8. My name die is a D8. Oops. I will burn a 3rd fatigue. God, Jesus Christ. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in the ass. And I will try to use social game, mostly because that's what I've been coming into phase 2 with. I hope it's good. What I will be doing, I will not be seizing. I will attempt to neutralize the threat, mole, and alliance, because each PC getting 1 injury and those stacking across like the rest of the game would be not great. I will attempt to use an acquisition for this. I am allowed. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then I will add my elementary school teacher dice. I think for anything social, I think it's probably okay. Is that all I'm adding? No, I will burn a trust with the good doctor. Or, I think the boat thing requires like a lot of trust. I will burn a trust with my favorite PC.
Wait, you're not allowed to
Harper.
say that.
Harper is my favorite because we're equally vicious. So I'll just have to roll another D8, and hopefully that's enough. So I'll roll another D8 on top of this. 6, 5, 5, 5, and a 3 on the D4. So 6 plus 5 plus 1 is what?
12.
That's not high enough. That's okay. I will take that L.
Oof.
That does mean that the mole and the alliance is still there until it is not there. So
Yeah.
deal with it if you wish, and if it's not important, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I feel like for this particular group, the internal politics of the Alpha Alliance are not your highest priority, but getting injuries is probably
would be pretty bad. Yes.
So who's up next, Ari or Mabel? You can seize or you can defend.
So if we're seizing, we're following and doing stuff with the boat going through the wall, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'd like to carry on with that, if that's okay. So I'd like to add a D6 for my name. Is my occupation relevant? As a nuclear engineer.
I feel like there's a lot of physics going on in terms of... Yeah.
D6 for my occupation. D6 for deathmatch. I'm going to burn my 3rd fatigue to add a D8 for snake. Because we can use redacted acquisitions, right?
Yes.
I'm going to, through the hole, I'm going to sneakily throw my gas capsules that I've got to try and disrupt the folk inside. So that's a D4. And I'm going to burn a trust for a D8 with Calliope. If that is all right with Calliope.
Go for it. We track them separately, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still have 2 trust with you, Doctor.
Cool. I've still now got 1 trust with Calliope, 1 with Mabel. So I'm gonna.
If you're using my name right, it's D8.
Yes.
No.
Thank God we can recover it by asking awkward questions on the boat.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Should I burn more trust? I don't know.
Up to you. There's one more round after this one for this island.
Okay, I'm gonna just take what I've got. So D8, 3D6, and a D4.
Ruh-roh.
That's an 18.
Oh shit!
I got an 8 on a D8, a 6 on a D6, and a 4 on a D4.
Oh my gosh! Yes!
No.
And then the others were a 4 and a 1 and a 2.
Homies.
Okay.
So I got 18. That is
Beautiful. Okay, Mabel, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to have faith in these big ass dice I have.
Are you seizing or defending as well?
Oh, Mabel is seizing. Mabel is. I
Any
think
of us
Mabel is
defending?
actively.
I tried.
I think Mabel is actively gunning for. What's her name?
Is it Sunday,
Sunday?
the CrossFit trainer?
Sunday. It is Sunday. Just go to the gym like a normal person. Okay, so that's D10 advantage. Can I? The D10 advantage dice is for this explicitly, right?
Yes, it's either for this round or the next round. You can choose which one to use it for.
No, so if we have control, does that like spin into another advantage die?
If you have control, If you win the Seas contest, the winner of the Seas contest chooses a bonus capability die for the Battle Royale and decides the fate of those present. So we have already won the Seas. So I
So
think
you could prevent us from getting an injury each.
Oh, in that case, I can. Actually, I will defend it. I have one to see. I don't know why I thought Yurkowski defended. I don't know what I'm doing. That's my bad. Okay, in that case, we're defending. I'm just gonna roll normal ass dice. Actually, I'm gonna. Okay, 1 fatigue, 4 challenge beast. That's a D10. Deathmatch is D6. Name dice is D8. We're only rolling 3. Fuck it, we ball.
Oh god.
Oh no! Oh, that is not defending.
Oh, good.
Oh no!
That's
getting
high
injured up in
6
here.
4. We're not doing it.
oof. So what
We're
is
doing really well at just attacking a wall
Yeah.
and
Well,
really
here's
bad at not getting hurt.
Here's the thing. We all
Right?
have like sort of okay. Most of us have room to spare vis-a-vis injuries.
How many
Yeah,
injuries
yeah,
do
we
I
have
already
fun.
have? I'm gonna check.
I have
This
at
is
least
my
one.
first injury, and it's not even my fault.
This will be my second.
This is gonna be Mabel's third.
Whoa.
I'm on 3 fatigue and 2 injuries.
When you get down to the last injury, what happens, Maddie?
I think I would need to check, but I think that if you would need to mark another injury, then you would die.
Oh,
But I will.
well,
Okay, so
Mabel should maybe stop throwing herself at like every dangerous thing. Good to know.
yeah,
It
can
may
I
be
check
that when you mark
something?
that 4th injury, you die. It may be that you need another one before you die. I'm not sure.
Can I check something? Because 3 of my little injury dots are already filled in. Is that like the little squares? They've
Oh,
already got
that marks
dots.
when you get an advancement. So when you get injured, you also get
Oh,
you get
I'm gonna get an advancement.
yeah.
Yay! Amazing.
So Mabel, what was your total? Your 2 highest?
10, 6 and 4.
6 and 4, 10. Cool. Okay, so going from the bottom to the top, Mabel, what does your attempt to stop the unaffiliated alliance from injuring your friends look like, and how does it fail?
I think depending on how like, well, no, there's a grenade on the boat. It's probably not that intact, but like, I think she tries to like hold them off from getting to everybody else, like to try to keep them all like on her so they don't split off and go for the other like 3 people. And I don't think it's like it's not a long fight. it is Mabel being jumped by like 5 people, and they are like pretty sure she's dead when they leave.
Oof.
Mark 1 injury for your entire body.
Yeah.
Okay, and up next, I believe it is Calliope. How are you dealing with this situation?
Yes, failing to do it, but the rest of the offense team still gets it off. So let's think about this. Calliope Lee, elementary school teacher. Her hands are not spotless. The camera zooms over her as she is laying on a flat piece of rock near this artificial lake. Her assault rifle is out, and over the heads and ears occasionally of the 2 attacking teammates, they hear like little as people are getting lit up in the distance to prevent them from attacking the boat. Unfortunately, from this vantage point, what Calliope does not see is the form of one very irate Burchard as he comes and rifle butts her into unconsciousness before joining his friends in the Mabel Winter beatdown. So their initial launch, the boat launch was covered, but after that they're on their own.
I think that makes sense.
All right, yeah. I think you see this kind of slimy looking man with slick back hair. How has he got slick back hair on this frickin' island? It must be like he must exude an oil of his own. And he says to you, "You're
It's the
just
slugs.
yeah."
It's from
He
the
says-
slugs. It's the
He whispers in your ear, "You're just far too interesting to live," and then butts into your temple with the rifle.
Perf.
Okay.
Oh, he's slimy, but that's a good line.
I like him! Yay, villains! Villains!
Oh no!
Go, boat people, you're our only hope.
All right. So up next is Harper. Before we continue, both Mabel and Calliope can mark one new follower box.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get
It
followers.
was 15 from the thing before.
You are! You're gonna get a
I'm
team!
gonna get maybe
Yeah.
more than 2 boxes.
You will. You definitely will.
So Harper, how do you make this boat plan a resounding success?
So Harper is like, I don't need information, I just need to be the best. And so she turns the boat around, sticks the femur under the steering wheel to lock it so it's going forwards. Like revs it, and there's like there's like a rock in the middle of like towards the shore. And she literally drives the boat at it at speed, and she jumps off at the last moment, pulls a grenade as she's pulls the pin from the grenade and tosses it behind her so it rolls into the boat. And by the time it goes off, the boat is like smashed into the wall and there is an explosion. And as she crashes into the water, I think my physical injury comes from like a bit of rubble just like catching her on the way down. Not enough to like cause like a lot of damage, but enough to like hurt her at least. And like the little text comes up like Harper Hoffman, definitely 32, Nova Makeup co-founder, aka Supernova. And she sits in the confessional and she's like all wet and like a little bit defeated, and she's like, it shouldn't have worked again, but it did.
It ain't broke.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. At least get me like a helicopter or something for Island 3. And that's her.
Fantastic. Okay. It is. You get 7 follower boxes for this one.
Thank you.
Oh, the doctor's finna get 1 billion followers. Let's go.
I hate
All
seeing this. Once we get into aircraft, this does get a little too close to the lines and veils of terrorism.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Dr. Aryakovsky, how do you absolutely seize this situation for your team?
So, I am on the boat still when Harper jumps off it. I like to think I'm the last person on the boat as it is careering towards this wall. As I see Harper throw the grenade, I leap out of the way of it and off the boat onto the ground near this wall that it's about to go into. As I do so, I land strangely on one of my wrists, and so that is my injury. As the hole is being made in the wall by the exploding boat that is like meters away from me, my name comes up, Dr. Aryakovsky, nuclear engineer. You'll never guess what comes next. And with her remaining good wrist, she is going to take the gas capsules and throw them through the hole into the building, and kind of like while crawling towards the wreckage of this boat. And then she's just going to kind of lie back on the ground and wait for everyone to join her at this hole.
Beautiful. So yeah, you can now hear the the conflict raging inside of this fortification. You see a young man with kind of tousled dark hair screaming at Sunday, who is just spraying bullets from this assault rifle, and he's saying, "Stop! What are you doing? This is madness. We can find a better way to figure this out." And she's like, "No fucking way. I'm in charge now. I'm in control." So yeah, that is what you see. And I believe that unfortunately we're out of time for this episode, so we're gonna continue the Battle Royale next time on Deathmatch Island.
We are cutting off with Maple fully on tiptoes on the ground.
I'm just lying there in the frozen tundra, like, help.
I literally got my deathmatch final dice ready to go in my hand. I was like, I'm so ready.
I was like, I'm ready with my rifle.
This makes sense because it's where the episode would be cutting off to.
So.
Oh yeah,
nice.
this would be a cliffhanger on Netflix television.
We are assuming Mabel's dead up until next episode.
Our cliffs were hung.
Oh no, I threw the gas capsules in where you are. I've thrown the gas capsules in where you are.
Fine.
We'll see what happens next time. All right. So before we head off, I would love to ask my fantastic players where we can find them on the internets and if they have anything to plug. Starting with our successful Dr. Ari Yakovsky, Anusha Battersby.
Hello, I'm Anusha Battersby. My pronouns are she, her. I've been playing Dr. Ari Yakovsky. You can find me on pretty much all social media just under my name. That is ANUSIA and then Battersby, BATTERSBY. Other than on TikTok and Tumblr, where I go by Anushad. In terms of plugging stuff, I will be appearing in the podcast. It's a procedural Monster of the Week podcast called Redacted. We will be crowdfunding from this weekend. We've got loads of events going on, including a 24-hour live stream. It won't be this weekend by the time this goes out. Listen to Redacted, it's going to be really cool. I'm also found in the Magnus Protocol, and I will be appearing as Lucy in Dracula 2004.
Woo-hoo. And Taylor.
Hello everyone, my name is Taylor Navarro. I use she, her pronouns. I am a creative consultant here at Euphoria, TTRPG game designer, project manager, and streamer now. I've even got a fancy new mic. Thank you, work. I stream on moonbeam.stream, where I'm also chief of staff over there. And that's it from me.
Thank you. And Luyu.
Hey, what up? My name is Luyu, she, her pronouns. Find me if you wish. You can seek me out. But what I will plug instead is, as this airs, the Pantsless Tables Pride Month streams will be going on. Please catch them if you can. I actually don't know if I'm going to be involved at all, but it's tight, and happy Pride Month.
Woo. And Magnolia.
Hello, my name is Magnolia Johnson, she, her pronouns. You can find me at Super Daisy Power Hour, all one word, on Blue Sky. You can find me on Tumblr. Don't. You could, if you really tried, find me on Elon's hell site of Twitter. Also don't. I'll start calling it X when he starts calling her Vivian. We're not getting into it.
Woo! All right. I have been your production player, Maddie Searle. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky at Maddie is Abstract. You can find all the podcasty stuff I do at snazzytapier.com. And you can find my silly one-shot games under my name, Maddie Searle, on itch.io. And please follow and support Euphoria on social media, on Patreon. Search for Euphoria AP wherever good social media posts are found. And we look forward to seeing you next time. So, goodbye.
Woo. Bye.